Hello and welcome. You know, in criminal justice, every single decision has weight. So today, we're diving into one of the most challenging parts of the job: how you make the right call when there's really no easy answer.
I want you to just picture this for a second. You're there. The scene is secure, the suspect is down. And then you see it happen. A line gets crossed. Your partner, a veteran officer, someone you trust, uses excessive force. So what's your move? Do you report them and maybe put your career, your partnerships on the line? Or do you stay quiet and let your own principles take the hit?
Yeah, this isn't some multiple-choice question with a clean, correct answer. This is the messy reality of the profession. This, right here, is an ethical dilemma. And learning how to navigate these moments is probably one of the most important skills you will ever build. So what exactly are we talking about here? Well, an ethical dilemma is basically when your core values get tangled up and start pulling you in opposite directions. Your duty to your partner is crashing head-on with your duty to the public. Your sense of loyalty is at war with your integrity. And the tough part is, no matter what you decide, it feels like you're letting something important down. That's really the heart of it.
Okay, so when you find yourself in that kind of fog, totally lost, what do you use to find your way out? You turn to your values. Seriously, think of them as your moral compass. They're built in, non-negotiable, and they're the only thing that can point you true north when the path ahead is a total mess.
And in criminal justice, there are a few values that are just the bedrock of it all. You've got integrity, that's about doing the right thing. Fairness, treating everyone the same no matter what. Respect, honesty, courage, and of course, responsibility for your actions. These aren't just nice words to put on a poster, you know? They're your professional lifeline.
Just take a second and actually think about that. When the pressure is on, everything's happening fast, and you've got to make a split-second decision. Which one of those values pops up first for you? Which one is your go-to? Just knowing that about yourself is a huge first step in being ready for these moments.
At the end of the day, integrity is a real foundation for everything else. It's about the choice you make when there are no body cams, no supervisors, nobody looking over your shoulder. Public trust isn't built on what agencies do in the spotlight. It's built on thousands of small, individual acts of integrity that happen when no one is watching.
All right, so if your values are your compass, you're also going to need a map, right? A practical step-by-step guide that takes you from that feeling of confusion to a clear, confident decision you can stand behind. That's your framework for action.
And this 4-step strategy is your map. First, just get the facts straight. What really happened? And what's the actual conflict here? Second, name the values that are in play. Is this about honesty versus loyalty? Or maybe fairness versus getting things done quickly? Third, you got to brainstorm every possible option, even the ones that seem crazy, and really think through what could happen with each one. And finally, you make your choice. You act on it. And then, and this is so important, you look back and reflect on how it all played out.
And let's be real here. This process isn't about finding some magical, perfect answer that makes everyone happy. That's usually not on the table. It's about making a choice that you can defend, one that is professionally and ethically sound, because you didn't just react, you thought it through using a clear, rational process.
Okay, theory's one thing, but let's see how this whole thing actually works in the real world. We're going to take our compass, our values, and our map, that 4-step framework, and apply them to a whole new scenario. So here's the situation. You're interviewing a key witness. Their story makes sense, it's plausible, but your gut, that professional intuition is screaming at you that something's off. They're holding back. So what do? Do you just take the statement so you can close out the report and move on? Or do you take the time to dig a little deeper, even if it might make the witness clam up?
And here you can see the two paths side by side. Look, the unethical response isn't necessarily evil. It's just easy. It's about getting the task done. But the ethical response, that's guided by honesty, the drive to get the whole truth, and responsibility, your duty to get it right. And the result isn't just a better report. It has a direct impact on whether justice is actually served and whether people believe you're doing the job right.
And that's the ripple effect, isn't it? That choice you make in that little interview room doesn't just stay there. It could be the thing that determines whether a case gets solved, whether an innocent person walks free, or whether a guilty person is actually held accountable. Every one of these choices either builds up or chips away at the community's trust in the entire system. So as we start to wrap this up, let's be crystal clear. Making ethical decisions isn't just another box to check on your skills list right next to report writing.
It is the absolute fundamental core of who you are as a professional and what you owe the public you serve. So, what's in your ethical toolkit now? Well, first, just accept that these dilemmas are going to happen. They're part of the job. Second, know your values inside and out. They're your anchor. Third, use a framework to think, don't just react. And last, never forget that your individual choices have a huge collective impact.
At the end of the day, your career, your legacy in this field, it won't be defined by one big arrest or some fancy commendation. It's going to be defined by the pattern of choices you make in these tough moments, especially when you think no one's watching. So the real question to ask yourself is this: are you prepared?